Right, people. Yeah, I'm at the place called this. Yeah, Factory Theatre, where Paul Dianno was brought up these steps. There you go, Paul Dianno brought up these steps and performed his last concert in Australia. It was actually here. So I don't want to go downstairs because there's a little bit of music and noise, but here it is, the place. This is the place where he performed. That's it. This is the city of Sydney. So it's just outside of Sydney. There's the bar, and he was brought up these steps to perform his last gigs here. I came here for a reason, just to talk about what he did as a musician, and I've actually I did make a recording from home last week, but that wasn't a successful recording because I deleted it. So it was meant to go out live. In the end, it didn't go out live. But anyway, he's brought through these doors, I believe, and they performed here, or it could have been here in his theatre. I'll see if I can get in there in a minute. There's somebody there right now. So look, the reason why I brought you here is because there's a few things happening here. So look at my, yeah, just here a second. But there were a few things happening here, and to here. There we go. I'm wearing Iron Maiden. Sorry, I'm not wearing Killers or Iron Maiden t-shirt, but look, it's the reason I'm wearing that. It's a matter of life and death. And look, Paul Dianno's gone now, and I grew up listening to Paul Dianno when I was a kid. So I was probably 12 and 13 when I bought the Killers album. It was my first album. Sorry, I'll start this again. I bought The Number of the Beast. That was my first album, 1982. And then I thought, look, I looked at the front cover of the Killers album. I thought, what the hell? Look at this picture. So that was the next album that I purchased. Was the Killers album. So there's a few things I've got to say. My battery's running on low, so I'm doing everything I can to keep everything up and running. The last video was a 90-minute video. I hope you enjoyed the Paul Dianno tribute that I brought out 1 week early, because I did it because he was buried on the day. So look, it's just really quickly, I find it sad that nobody actually had stayed with him, to be with him, even for a short period of time. And you know what, something has happened to him, and like, this is your idol from when you were young, you know, Iron Maiden. It's near the airport, look. Anyway, and I don't know what to say really. It's really hard because like, I don't want to tell you too much about myself, because I was like a little kid when I was I had little pieces of change in my pocket just to buy a running free second-hand 7-inch record, and I walked for miles just to get it. And those sort of things, the memories, and this one as well. I just finished watching it, and I just watched it because just to watch him, you know, and what he did and what he did for Maiden. And just quickly, Dennis Stratton, Clive Burr, and what they did for Maiden as well. I think there should have been, like, they always said keep it in the Iron Maiden family, but where were they when, yeah, I don't know, it's hard. Where were they? But where were some people looking after him when he needed looking after? But not everyone can be there, I understand, but it's not that's probably nothing to do with me, even though I'm a huge fan. Look, I can read this. I've got some things here to read, and I feel it's quite important. But firstly, just to let you know, I did come here for a reason. On the night that Sweet played, The Sweet, UK British rock band, because I'd followed them everywhere when they were here before. Here we go. 1993, Saturday the 9th of October 1993. I saw them at live in Camden, which is south of Sydney. And look, I've got some. It was good because they allowed me to take some photos. The reason I did bring you out here was because, and I was going to see them on the day as well. Well, I did find out that Andy Scott didn't play. That's number one. Andy Scott wasn't there. But the reason I wanted to, I can show you this light here. See, got some photos here of a couple of members of the bands. They allowed me to take some photos. So there's Bruce. Not Bruce Dickinson. That's Bruce from the Sweets, the drummer. Yeah, he'd been with them for some time, but also playing with Praying Mantis. Now the reason because he did tell me last time I met him in 1993, and he signed some stuff for me. And as well as the other members of the band and Andy Scott. He told me that he was playing with Praying Mantis, so I knew that when I was young then. And so he told me about that he'd been in a few different bands, and Praying Mantis was one of the main ones, so he'd been with them for quite some time. So I wanted to meet him here, but of course, obviously there's security and everything, and I thought with him being with the band, I don't think it's going to be right for me to just go up to him and then... so I didn't get to see him in the end. And ask him. The main things I was going to ask was what it was like during the period of the new wave of British heavy metal, and his work with Paul Dianno, and those types of things I was going to ask him, because he'd also worked with Paul Dianno and did some tours and things. So I was going to ask him those types of questions, as well as what he's doing now and everything. But I thought, look, because I didn't get to see him, I thought I'll leave it at that. Don't worry, whether they'll come back again, that's another thing, because that's a farewell tour, they say. Like they say to everything else, farewell. But anyway, in the past few weeks I've been watching some videos on, and God bless him, Paul Dianno's friend and manager, Stjepan Juras, Stjepan Juras is how you pronounce it. Top marks for Metal Voice, because I've picked up some things from Metal Voice and some information, interviews and things I've been listening to. So it's sad that Paul's gone. He did everything he could, because the band was young then, and they pretty much paved the way for Iron Maiden's success. That's my belief. So did Clive Burr, and so did Dennis Stratton, and I think those the others, all the three of them should have some recognition. But I'm talking about Paul today because, like I said, he worked so damn bloody hard, and in a wheelchair, and just to get up these flights of steps and perform live and tour around the world. So let's see if I can get in there after. I don't know, but anyway, this is it. This is Factory Theatre, and then that's outside. You see, not a bad place. It's something different. I haven't seen a place like this before. It's good. Now to read this, I did read this from home the other day. It's something really important. It's like a statement about Paul Dianno's health situation at the time. It is a sad thing. So, just something I wanted to read to you. Let's see if I can find another spot to read this, because I feel it's really important that this is a good spot here, just in case the place closes down. I don't get stuck in here. If it closes down, I get stuck in here. Then I'm stuck. I won't be able to work tomorrow. And to be honest, I won't say it right now. But anyway, then my eyesight's bad. But anyway, I think I can read it. Yeah. So this is a statement. I think everybody's read it, but it's good. Look, at least I'm here to tell you about what's happening, and I'm reading it from the Factory Theatre, the last place that Paul Dianno performed at, and I missed it. Unfortunately, I missed it in February. It wasn't well advertised, I think, in Australia. It was advertised well overseas, I think, but I think the guys here must have brought him in, and I wasn't aware of. Otherwise, I would have seen the posters on the main road. I would have seen the posters just up the road from me, and I didn't see anything. I don't recall anything. So I'm going to read this to you. It's really important. It's something that is. Look, so Paul Dianno's manager and friend Stjepan Juras issues a statement in regards to Dianno's current health situation. This was about his health situation when he came back, and he was in some bad situations. He was in some bad situations in Adelaide and in Sydney when he performed. So he was sick, put it that way, and in a lot of pain. So I don't know how he did it. Like, I'm not comparing Paul Dianno with Freddie Mercury, but I think Paul Dianno worked so bloody hard, just like Freddie Mercury did. There's going to be some noise around here because of the aeroplanes. So I'll see if I can read it and focus my eyes, if I can. It's too hard. Anyway, what I could do, I'll keep this with me just for a moment. And what I'll do is, I'll just pop off to the car in a minute and go to an area there and show you. But let me take you around the Factory Theatre. Have a look because I want to show you this. It's not bad.
Yeah. All right, let's do it all again. You're amazing. You're so good. I'm good. MK, up on stage, please.
That's the stage where he performed. Yeah, here I am in the Factory Theatre there, and it's recording. Hopefully the camera will stay still and I'm not tripping over any wires. Yeah, so anyway, so this is the statement from Stjepan Juras. Stjepan Juras? This was the statement originally. So I've got some light here, I can see what I'm reading now. So I'll read it to you. Hello to all of Paul's friends and fans who always worry and ask how Paul is doing and want to help. I am writing this answer publicly so that you all have a correct insight into the situation and so that you can potentially get involved. Paul was also tagged in this post of mine. Paul is currently at his home in the UK where he tried, with the help of his friends, to organise treatments in the UK. However, for several different reasons, high price, difficulties in logistical organisation, insufficiently or efficient care, impossible living conditions and independent fulfilment of basic life and psychological needs in one's own home. Loneliness, which then results in mentally dangerous consequences and many other reasons. It became quite clear that Paul can't continue treatment at home. No matter how often doctors, nurses and physiotherapists come to his home, but that he must go somewhere where he will be under constant care. It may sound strange and unbelievable, but always during the tour, his leg was in much better condition when he came back from it than when he went on tour. Even a few days ago, Paul wrote about it on Facebook, and I will clarify. On tour, even if the plane journeys are tiring, etc., someone can help Paul every day to go to bed, to go to the toilet, to take a shower. A nurse can visit him whenever necessary. And on the Brazilian tour, he will have a personal care, nurses, physiotherapists, 24/7. Also, he wrote that loneliness kills him mentally, and Paul is constantly alone in his home. Except for a few visits that happen here and there. Paul had reached at this point where he had to be under someone's care on a daily basis, because if that didn't happen, I fear the worst. Several of his friends, led by Castrof Pergoni, who has been taking care of him from the very beginning, urged urgency and asked me to find some kind of solution once again for Paul to go to Croatia and to continue his treatment in the clinic. Although Paul needs only a few months of work away from fully walking, it is not so easy. There are numerous mental obstacles and strength, PTSD, depression, etc. All these things are diseases, and there is no joking about that. Many people will say, and I have thoughts many times too, Paul is like this, Paul is like that. He is an enemy to himself, his worst enemy, but no one will be completely right. What he is fighting is a difficult battle, and it can only be seen objectively if it is viewed through the prism of illness and not of free will and personal choices. I'm just a fan, in this case his manager, but I'm not a doctor, nor am I a wizard. My abilities are limited, although I try to learn every day. Paul is sick and needs help. The concerts so far have helped him so much, because now he doesn't have to depend exclusively on donations, but has a source of income for treatment. However, if there's anything I need from all of you, it's the other kind of help, advice and others. If any of you are close friends with Paul, help him, talk to him. You can help him with his bureaucratic stuff in the UK and make it clear to him that we are all there for him, even when he thinks we are not. I have never dealt with such difficulties in my life, including mental ones, but I did my best to help. And you, Paul. Paul, who's reading this, know that we all love you, and sometimes remember when you are having a hard time and you just want to scream, that we are here to help, and that there is no reason for you to scream at us, no matter how hard it is, then it seemed justified. I'm working on getting Paul back to Croatia for treatment in mid-March and getting rid of the infection and once again very swollen legs. Everyone following this, I hope you understand this and help if you can. Warhorse, featuring Dianno, will be releasing a new album in 2024 via Bravewords Records. There we go, there's that one. And it goes on a little bit here about what he's released. And I'll just let you know, Dianno recorded 2 classic albums with Iron Maiden, a self-titled effort in 1980 and Killers in 1981. He went on to front a number of other bands, including Killers and Battlezone, and released several solo records. The Warhorse single marked Dianno's first music release after 7 years due to severe health issues. Paul Dianno, who finally underwent his knee surgery in September 2022, played the first show since the operation on October the 1st at the Keep It True Rising 2 festival in Germany. I've got one more to read, and I'll do that, and I'll just show you the stage just once again where he performed. I'm reading it here from the stage and from the Factory Theatre.
This is the last known place that Paul Dianno performed in Australia. It's called Factory Theatre. Some other gigs happening just around here. Like, for example, INXS cover bands.
Yeah, if you remember INXS and those other bands. Yeah, anyway, so this is the last thing. So that was the current health situation that I've read. We've all read it. And following all his gigs, and I'm not sure what happened between February. I think he had a few more gigs in the UK. Or he was meant to have some gigs in Europe. I'm not too sure exactly, but between February and up to now, this was only 4 weeks ago. This came out. So, and once again, I just want to plug my Paul Dianno tribute, which was meant to come out on the 30th of November. It's already out because I decided for that to go out on the day of his burial. Okay, here we go. So here's another statement and more information from his Paul Dianno's friend and manager, Stjepan Juras. I'm at the Factory Theatre. My name's Sonny. I'm at the Factory Theatre in Sydney, where Paul Dianno last performed. His last performance. For all I know, it was his last performance. I believe he did one in Adelaide. I think he did Queens. He went to Queensland and Perth, I believe, as well. So he did a tour around Australia, and it was his last known tour. And this is the last place he was at. It's a picture of him. So I'll just wait for this plane to go and I'll start. So this came out on October 22nd, I believe, so 4 weeks ago. Just printed this from online. This is about so this came from Stjepan Juras. Paul Dianno to be laid to rest at London, England's City of London Cemetery and Crematorium, and he said, "I will be happy to help his family financially to give Paul a dignified burial," says manager Stjepan Juras. There you go. So this was the update from Stjepan Juras, Paul Dianno's manager. Dear friends, sometimes a man thinks he is strong and can handle everything or anything. When I got the phone call yesterday morning about Paul's death, I stayed calm and tried not to break down, knowing that it was all going to be a long day, a lot of phone calls and something I had never faced before. All day and all night I answered literally thousands and thousands of messages, and until I collapsed into bed in a sleepless dream. However, when I woke up in the morning and saw all the overwhelming messages of support, all the emotional memories and events, I couldn't stop crying, finally realizing how much Paul meant to people around the world and how much our frantic battle for his life meant to them. Paul definitely left too soon. Perhaps the year 66 sounded cool and close to his inimitable temperament, but there was much more ahead of him. I'm not trying to write his obituary because that's impossible. Paul, both as an artist and as a person, is simply indescribable, and those who never knew him personally will never be able to fully understand who Paul was and what Paul was like. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the nice messages and help from all over the world, and all those who are interested in being informed that Paul will be buried at the City of London Cemetery and that he will be close to his mother and his friend Clive Burr. We still don't know what day it will happen, but we will let all our friends know everything in time. After the funeral, we will all go together to the nearby Cart and Horses to raise a glass in memory of Paul, and at the same time we will all be able to donate to cover the costs of the funeral. What I'm about to tell you now sounds completely crazy, but that's exactly what happened. The book you see in the picture is the story of Paul and our fierce fight for his life. The same morning when the book came out of the press, I received the news of his death. Just a few days earlier, he and I had joked that the contents of this book would completely shock the world and that he didn't know if he was ready for it. But he decided that for his sake and for his future life, people needed to know what was going on, because only on that way everyone can help him. Unfortunately, he left too early and he was unable to sign the copy that I intended to give him on that tour in a few days. While I was returning from the printing office with the book in my hand, my heart could not stand it when I passed the Western Hotel, so I turned towards the hotel and sat on the terrace where we spent a lot of time in recent years. I did not expect that the news of his death spread so quickly that at the same moment all the waiters stood in line and came to bow, sharing with me some of their memories with Paul. If the death of Bon Scott ended one era of rock, with the death of Paul Dianno also ended another era. He will never ever be able to be replaced. A book about him is available at maidenfans.com and will soon be available at pauldianno.co.uk, and I will also be happy to help his family financially to give Paul a dignified burial. When we have official news about the date of the funeral, we will inform you, and you will be able to find the notice on the Cart and Horses pages together with his family. We are working on this, and we thank you once again for your great support and help. I'm sorry that we will all have to see each other in such terrible circumstances, But once again, we will remember Paul and toast everything he has done. I can firmly promise you that I will never allow his legacy to be neglected. As long as I live, the story of Paul will live on his official pages and on social networks. We will always share memories and thousands of photos and videos that we have taken, and together with all of you, we will make him immortal, even though he already is. Stjepan Juras. And then Stjepan issued the following statement on October the 21st, announcing Paul's passing. On behalf of his family, I am very sad to confirm the death of Paul Andrews, professionally known as Paul Dianno. Paul passed away at his home in Salisbury at the age of 66. Born in Chingford, East London on 17th of May 1958, Paul first came to prominence as lead singer of English heavy metal band Iron Maiden between 1978 and 1981. He sang on their groundbreaking debut album, Iron Maiden, and the influential follow-up release, Killers. Since leaving Iron Maiden, Paul Dianno had a long and eventful recording career with Paul Dianno's Battle Zone and Paul Dianno's Killers, as well as numerous solo releases and guest appearances. Despite being troubled by severe health issues in recent years that restricted him in performing in a wheelchair, Paul continued to entertain his fans around the world, racking up well over 100 shows since 2023. In 2024, he published his new album with the band Warhorse, and only a few months later, his retrospective album. His first career retrospective album, The Book of the Beast, was released in September 2024 and featured highlights of his recordings since leaving Iron Maiden. I was so proud to call him my friend, and I ask his legion of fans to raise a glass in his memory. Iron Maiden paid tribute to their former vocalist Paul Dianno as news came down that the legendary metal singer had passed away. Said Iron Maiden, "We are all deeply saddened to learn about the passing of Paul Dianno earlier today. Paul's contribution to Iron Maiden was immense and helped set up on the path we have been travelling as a band for almost 5 decades. His pioneering presence as a frontman and vocalist, both on stage and on our first 2 albums, will be fondly remembered, not just by us, but by fans around the world." "It's just so sad he's gone," commented Steve Harris. "I was in touch with him only recently as we texted each other about West Ham and their ups and downs. At least he was still gigging until recently. It was something that kept him going, to be out there whenever he could. He will be missed by us all. Rest in peace, mate." Maiden added, "We were very grateful to have had the chance to catch up a couple of years ago and spend time with him once more. On behalf of the band, Rod and Andy, and the whole Iron Maiden team, we extend our deepest sympathies to Paul's family and close friends. Rest in peace, Paul." A statement from Dianno's record label, Bravewords Records. The Bravewords Records released Warhorse recently. Reads, "As huge and lifelong fans of Paul Dianno's musical legacy, it was an honour to work with Paul on the Warhorse album for Bravewords Records. We are extremely saddened to hear of his passing. Paul will remain a true legend in the world of heavy metal." A documentary about Dianno is Paul Dianno is slated to come out next year, reports Louder Sound. Wes Orshoski, he's the co-director of 2010's Lemmy, That's Lemmy from Motorhead, the main man, and that's the project via Instagram on Monday, October the 21st. He hoped for the film to document Dianno's fight through the health problems he endured in later years, and expresses his desire for it to get screened at festivals next spring. That will be 2025. And this is the last statement, and this is from Orshoski. He states, "Rest in peace, Paul. Just learned that Paul Dianno passed away. Don't have many details yet. Very sad day. As many know, I've been working on a documentary about Paul for the past several years, as he had been fighting to get back on his feet, literally, emotionally and professionally. It's obviously quite sad that it ended this way. I'm very thankful for the experiences and opportunities I had with Paul, and because of Paul, and I learned a lot from him. The film will be out next year, and details will be forthcoming. The hope is for it to be a debut at film festivals in early 2025. I'm very excited for the Maiden faithful to see it. Once it's released to you, you will just see how tough his life had been over the years, over the past decade, and how hard he fought to change it. Maybe he's finally found some peace. Say hi to Clive for us, legend." And that came from Wes Orshoski. He's the director, or the co-director of hopefully Paul Dianno's film coming soon. And you probably find out soon that will be at the festivals, but look out at the cinemas too. At the cinemas, sometimes they have these round the world transmissions that they broadcast around the same time, so it's interesting to find out. Just keep an eye on your cinemas too. There we go, Paul Dianno. There's a memory. One of my first videos that I ever bought was this one. As I was still, it was quite hard to find actually, because this was a early 80s video, but it was kind of early to mid 80s, and I've luckily found this video. So yeah, it means a lot to me, and so does the time when I purchased some of the 12 inches live in Japan, and won a few 12 inches like Twilight Zone. Rothschild was on the other side. The reason why I put out that Killer's version from this, the sound, was because it was Paul on one of his last interviews, because there was a lot of rumours saying that it was his lyrics, and he actually said he made it up. So he made up a lot of stuff. I'm going to take you around and just give you my experience of well, I find that Paul as a person, I think he's, to me, he looks like a really decent, a decent person, and to have to meet someone like that, and like the things he says, like he's a fan of himself of many heavy metal bands and punk. He brought the punk and heavy metal thing together, I think, to be honest. That's my feeling. That's how, my feeling on the whole early Iron Maiden situation. They said, oh no, Steve Harris would say, I'm not a punk band, or we're not a punk band, but I think they kind of brought in some of the punk fans as well as the heavy metal fans. So it's huge, and I think for Paul to be part of that, I think that's an awesome thing. And here he is again. There's the steps. They took. I don't know how he got up there, but they took him up there to perform. And this is it. The Factory Theatre. A little old place where there's a couple of bars, like here and upstairs as well. Paul Dianno from Iron Maiden, rest in peace. I had to come here to do this. I did it from home last time, and I did a live stream and it didn't work. So yeah, I had to do this just one more time. I'm not getting paid for it, so I don't care. You can look, people say, "Oh, subscribe to my channel," but I'm not asking you to subscribe. You don't have to. It doesn't matter what you do. Anyway, but that's it. That's it there. So yeah, there's a few other stickers. But that's it. I did meet one famous person because I was doing some filming here for one of the commercial channels. Oh, there's some more advertising there. Some of the bands and some things that happen on the weekends. So there we go, the Ultimate in Excess show. So it's good. Like it's kind of they're trying to make it like a family venue thing at some of these places now. So yeah, it's good. Every weekend, so the courtyard opens here, open to the public. And you can bring, I'm pretty sure you can bring kids and stuff here now. So it's kind of kids friendly and stuff. There we go. Paul Dianno performed here. I missed it. Yeah. Pretty pissed off that I missed it. So look, I would have seen it. I would have seen it on these, you know, they always have these things up on the, I'll show you here. You have these posters everywhere on the walls down on the main road. So what I'm going to do is show you the main road and show you some of the posters. Even the suite is still there, and they performed the other day, like I said. But yeah, as I said, I was going to speak to Bruce Bisland about his work with, or some of the things he did with Paul Dianno. And ask him how Paul Dianno was as a person. What was it like to work with him? I was going to ask those questions, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to do. It was a little bit hard to do that because, you know, of course, the full suite band was there except for Andy Scott. They were there, and it wouldn't be right for me to just go in and just speak to him only. I've done it before. I've spoken to him. I've spoken to the others as well. They all said. They played a part in Praying Mantis, the band. The keyboard player, I think, did. He mentioned that he played in various bands as well. So I kind of like interviewed them, and I was, I think, around 22 years of age. So yeah, so it's good. It's really good to meet them all, and even they allowed me to take photos. But I'll tell you, I'm just going to stand out here for a sec. But I'll tell you. Look, I'll just put out here for a sec. Look, I've got nothing. I love Iron Maiden, but I've been in situations like in Melbourne. I've seen Iron Maiden there as well, and I've taken photos of them. Bruce Dickinson wasn't there. Apparently, he was sick. When he was doing this, I think they were doing this live. It's like a promotional thing in, I think it was Virgin Megastores, Virgin Records in Melbourne on the main street there somewhere before they did their gig. So I went down. I found out they were down there. I went straight down there. I thought, oh great, there's the band. They just don't like you taking photos. Like I had the you know the camera set up and everything. They don't like it. You know, I saw Dave Murray. He's like giving me the eye and. It's just like the look I got was, don't take pictures, I don't like this, or it's like that, or I don't like you. But we're your biggest fans. I'm not from a magazine or anything. We're your biggest fans, you know. So I went down there, with the Iron Maiden t-shirt, everything. See, that's the thing about. So that's the thing about Paul Dianno. He's not like one that's going to go, oh look, I'm going to get in the car, finish my show, get in the car and piss off, and I'm not going to sign anything for you, because there's a lot of unfortunately there's a lot that do that, and I do understand, because there's a lot of fans and blah blah blah. But for Paul Dianno to stay up all night signing autographs for his fans, and he loves his fans that much, and he did. Yeah, it's sad, you know. Anyway, but look, that's it. It'll be good for you to comment. Look, I haven't seen any comments yet about what the video I did, but so what I did read was their friend and manager Stjepan Juras, the current health situation of Paul Dianno. I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, this video. What is it about? What are you doing?" You know, it's something that's for the fans, you know. And I just went up the road just down there, just to film the Factory Theatre, where he performed for the last time in Australia. And then, of course, I've read out this one about Paul Dianno being laid to rest. So yeah, it was laid to rest last on the weekend, on Friday. I think it was on Friday. I think I said, when I was doing my live recording thing, I think I said it was being laid to rest, and it was about our time. I think it was 5 in the morning, and I lost touch of the time over there. But 5 in the morning, and then I did my live feed thing, which didn't work anyway, and I was talking for about an hour and a half. So I think I've been going on for about that now. But yeah, that's it. I hope this video has been of some use. At least now you know. Besides the last performances I think he did in Europe, the last show he did in the Pacific region, you know, Adelaide, and also Sydney, like the Factory Theatre I just showed you. And that's it. I thought I'd read those. The guys were kind enough to let me, whatever they were filming there, it was something on for the TV. But they let me stay over for a bit, and it was good. Whilst they're tidying up their stuff, they let me read that there, right at the stage there where Paul Dianno performed. So yeah, it's emotional, and I hope the fans get to see it. Number one, I hope the fans get to see it, and the yeah, this is Sydney. Not too far from the airport. It's like 20 minutes from the airport, something. And I'm if that. I was just up the road from where Paul Dianno was in February, and I didn't even know. Like, that's how. When was the last time I did a talk like this? I think it was one of my older shows when I was in another suburb of Sydney. But yeah, it's all different now, isn't it? With all this crap going on. Something I can't say too much about. Paul Dianno knows, and he pretty much said it. Then. There's recordings there, so thanks for the people that have put out those recordings, especially one of the Factory Theatre. If you listen to the end of it, 100%, Paul Dianno knows all the bullshit's going on. And why he couldn't get any help. It's like, what was the care factor, and what is it now? Oh, here it is, one more time. Yeah, that's it. There it is. There was apparently some people put some photos out here of some people put some photos here of Paul Dianno on the evening that he'd performed. So there was a big picture of him on a poster or something, and they after that they took it down. because I did speak to somebody there, and I said, well, are there any memories of Paul or any photos of Paul? But no, there's nothing. And of course, I think he would have done a signing after the show as well, because I can see it, that he did a live and, you know, special VIP thing. So that would have been good. That would have been good. I would have paid for that as well. So there we go. I think the last piece of my video now. I'm going to show you how I've been promoting Paul Dianno. And yeah. Here we go. So 20 minutes from the venue, and on the main road, maybe half an hour from the airport, from the main Sydney airport. I'll show you where I've been advertising the Paul Dianno tribute. But that's not mine. This is regular posters that get put up every week. It's a little bit dark. So there's a couple of sweet posters either side of my poster. That's the sweet poster that they're advertising at the Factory Theatre down this way, and then you'll be able to see my poster in between near the Harley Davidson shop. That's all right, isn't it? Paul would have liked that one. Oh yeah, he would have loved that. He had a Harley, I think. There we go. Harley. Be nice to get one of them. Not if I got $2 in the bank. Yeah, so just up here's a little bridge. It's a little bridge, see? And on this side, just advertised it. It's the only little poster that's there. So here, I'll just show you once again. Here's the suite at the Factory Theatre poster. There we go. And the Factory Theatre is where we were at. I think you call it Sydney's East, and here's my famous poster. Yay! There we go. With what they call that QR code thing. There you go. That's going to be there for another week or two. And just like Paul said before he passed away, what's going on out there is, you know, I can't say too much, but it's to do with the people up the top there. Yeah, they're the ones you've got to look out for now. And but it's kind of always been that way anyway. I hope you enjoyed. I can't say enjoyed it, but I hope you liked my post at least. A special tribute on Paul Dianno, and and I felt that it was important that it should be done. But anyway, but there it is, and they're my thoughts as well. Special post going out on the 30th, but I'll switch them the other way around.